Hey everyone, my name is Carly and it's February, which obviously means that Valentine's Day is upon us, and yes, it's a pretty cliched holiday, but it's also kind of fun even though I'm very single, but I still enjoy Valentine's Day because I like chocolate. So Valentine's Day, I guess it's supposed to be like a romantic sort of thing, and what better time than to talk about some of my favorite romantic relationships in books. I think this was originally a top five Wednesday idea from a couple months ago that I just never got around to doing. But again, what better time to do it than right now? I have a total of 6 relationships here that I could think of that I liked. I did limit myself to books, not TV shows, movies, etc., etc., because then that list could probably go on forever and ever. So I've limited myself to books. These are not in any particular order. They are just written down as like the first I thought of. Also, I don't know how spoilery any of these are, but I mean, I'll put a list of the books down below, and if you don't want to be spoiled for any relationships, you can look at that list and see. And by list, I mean I'm going to just put the books, not the actual relationship. Without further ado, I'm going to just start with the first one on my list, which is Kath and Levi from Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Oh my gosh, I love them. It's just super adorable. I mean, I've talked on length about how much I freaking love Levi, but I loved how he was just like easily there for Kath, and no matter what, when she was in her like, I don't want to talk to anyone stage, and also when she was dealing with certain family issues, he was there for her. He kind of stood with her, and then was always just worried about more her safety, and he obviously, I mean, he just obviously cared for her, and I think you'll see that a lot with these relationships. Just I really like relationships where the two people just very much obviously care for each other 100%, and that this relationship definitely had that, and I just, yeah, I loved it. I loved it so much. The next one, again, oh my gosh, like this ship just gives me like the warm, fuzzy feelings. Like when I read this relationship in the book, it's like hearts, like what the anime heart thing. Like I love this relationship so much. And that is Gainsey and Blue from the Raven Cycle. What to say about these two? You know from the start that these two are going to get together, but when they first meet, oh my gosh, like they could not be two different people, and you kind of sit there wondering, is this going to be some forced relationship kind of thing? And absolutely not. Just their growth throughout the books, just their slow relationship, like the moment when they're on, like, they both drive out to the hill and they're just like, let's pretend we can kiss, and then just not do it, not actually do it, and like we'll just totally forget these. And it's just all these little quiet moments between the two of them that every time I read those moments, it's amazing is the only kind of word I can describe. I love how slow and like almost soft, I want to say, that the relationship is and everything. And I mean, one particular scene that really stands out to me and that I love and I always think about is, I think in the last book, when they're at Henry's party, and it's just the way Maggie Stiefvater writes it. Again, they're at this party filled with people and they just have all these little quiet moments together, and I love those. I love those. My next one, going along the same lines, it's Adam and Ronan from the Raven Cycle as well by Maggie Stiefvater. And again, what to say about these two? When I first read through the books, I think I knew about the relationship, but at the same time I was kind of like, what, like, I don't really see much like foreshadowing to this sort of thing. But when I went back and reread the books, I definitely saw the foreshadowing going towards this relationship. And Ronan's so hard and tough, and then to see those moments kind of where it is kind of foreshadowing that he is attracted to Adam and to same sex without coming out and start saying Ronan is gay, Adam is gay or bi or whatever. It doesn't come out just straight out to say that, and then when they do kiss, it doesn't like really tear them apart, and Adam's just kind of like, so yeah, Ronan kissed me, and Gainsey's like, how do you, okay? And I was like, yeah, like there's just no huge coming out sort of thing. It's just the two of them obviously very much care about each other, and with Ronan, that's a lot. Like when he shows that he cares about you sort of thing, you know he really does. And again, it just, those quiet moments Maggie Stiefvater is like perfect at writing in the Raven Cycle. It's just the moments that I absolutely love between these two. The next one is Nico D'Angelo and Will Solis from Percy Jackson series. This is a really small one, but it was also one that came to mind, and that when you, I think you kind of see it at the very end of the Heroes Olympus series, but again, nothing really is said about it. I mean, we know Nico's preferences because of, it does come out earlier in the series that he did like Percy Jackson, but really you get to really see it in the very first book of the Trials of Apollo series, and just again how much they just care about each other and how kind of cute they are with each other. I think they were just joking around quite a bit, but also trying to save the day and help with Apollo, and just, I love like the cute, like the really bubbly puppy personality, I want to say, aka Will Solis, and the really kind of just like almost somber kind of personality, which is Nico. I love relationship between like those two kind of people because they bring out the best in each other, and then when they are reading well again, you just see how much they care about each other, which with this relationship you just see how much they care about each other. And I keep saying that, but like that's what attracts me to relationships, like my favorite relationships in media. The next one is very much a classic. It's Percy Jackson and Annabeth Chase from Percy Jackson series. And again, just that slow build up, because obviously when they first start and we first meet these characters, they're 12 years old. Like, you don't necessarily want a relationship to start out right away, especially with these kind of books. So I love just the slow build of them getting to be friends, and then developing those other feelings for each other. So you know that what they have is a very strong relationship with each other because they've been through so much, but they also developed that friendship kind of before anything else. I will say, when I read the Heroes of Olympus series, I was just like, those first two books, I was like, I remember texting my friends going, I am so stressed that Percy and Annabeth are not together. This is stressing me out. I need those two together. And when they're finally together, it was wonderful, like always. And yeah, just one of those long-term, very solid, but obviously very much care about each other sort of relationships, and it's adorable and I love it. And like, yeah, can't do me no wrong. My very last one is an oldie but a goodie. It is Ginny Weasley and Harry Potter from the Harry Potter series. And this was one I honestly kind of forgot about, but then when I was thinking through these and looking at my books trying to figure out relationships, I looked at the Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and I was like, I forgot. Like, I was like, oh, I remember really loving Ginny Weasley and Harry Potter. Like, and I forgot how much I loved it because, I mean, let's be real here. The Ginny Weasley in the movies is not the Ginny Weasley from the books. And the Ginny Weasley in the books is honestly, at least in my opinion, 100 times better than the Ginny Weasley in the movies. And it's been a little while since I've read the books, but I had seen the movies more recently because it's been a while since I've seen the movies. But it really like shadowed how I view Ginny Weasley and Harry Potter and their relationship with each other. I mean, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince is my favorite Harry Potter book. And then I loved reading about that, like Harry like feeling jealous, him trying to tamper that down because she's Ron's sister. And then I was so disappointed in the movie when they like completely changed the kiss between Ginny Weasley and Harry Potter, because I loved that scene where Harry Potter had detention during a Quidditch match, one of the biggest Quidditch matches, and then he finally gets done with detention at the end of the Quidditch match, so he's like, I don't know if Gryffindor won or not, and then when he goes in, it's like all this sexual tension basically, finally reaches that crescendo where he goes into the Gryffindor common room and there's this party, and then Ginny just runs at him and the two kiss right there in the middle of the Gryffindor common room while this huge party is going on, and everyone sees it and like starts cheering for them. Actually, I don't remember if they start cheering, but it's basically how the Ron Lavender kiss went in the movie, except that should have been Ginny and Harry. And honestly, it was like, I loved it so much. And then one of my other favorite scenes in that book was, I think right after they had gone together, they were all, Ron, Harry, Hermione, and Ginny were all hanging out with each other, and Ginny was just kind of casually was like, so and so asked me if you had a tattoo, and Harry's like, well, what'd you tell him? And she's like, I told him you had a pygmy puff tattooed on your chest, which is like a cute little fuzzy animal. And Ginny was just being a little, and I loved that about her, and I love that scene between the two of them. And again, it's just one of those just relationships that I loved reading about when I was reading it, and I'm sure if I went back I would love it. There's some of my favorite bookish romantic relationships. Like I said, I have a lot more ships. They're just TV ships, movie ships, and that's not what this video is going to be about. But anyway, how do you feel about romantic relationships in books? Do you like them? What are some of your favorites? I know a lot of times romantic relationships in books can be done not well at all, but when they're done well, I am such a sucker for them. Like, give me it, I will read it like 100 times over. But yeah, what are some of your favorite like ships in books? But thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope at least Valentine's Day, if it's usually a hard day for you, I hope it's not that hard of a day for you. I will see you guys again in another video soon. Bye!